And welcome to the Talk Life podcast. I'm your host, Fear, and as always, my gorgeous wife, MDI.
Shut it, I have a headache.
Oh, wow, okay. We'll try. This will be a nice, quiet podcast for everybody. This is acoustic style. We're not going to really get so I don't know. We took a couple weeks off. What? We work for you? What are you going to do? Well, get back up. Excuse me.
Yeah, we don't
That's
have
what
to
I
take.
thought.
We don't have to get your permission for shit.
Yeah, you own us.
Yeah.
No, we just had a lot of stuff going on. We had to venture down into
the Winnipegs.
The pegs. And so, yeah, we've talked about it before. This is the thing that we have to do. So we live so far north that anything of any value medical-wise, we have to drive 8 hours to Winnipeg.
Which really means at least one night at a hotel because...
what are you supposed to do? Wake up at 3 a.m. to drive to your fucking appointment?
Yeah, my appointment was at 11 a.m. Like, I really doubt you're going to...
No.
Like you said, get up at 3 a.m. and drive. Plus, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I had an appointment with an ENT, which, if you don't know, that's an ear, nose, and throat specialist.
Yeah.
Because of my damage to my vocal cords. So found out exactly kind of what's going on. Had a probe stuck down my nose, which was not pleasant.
Yeah, that's weird. I had something similar when they were checking it because I got a big old schnoz.
Well, and that's not the reason you went. You went because because you snore a lot.
Yeah,
that's
I want to make sure things are good. And at some point, I think I broke my nose. I don't know. It looks jacked up. But yeah, I don't know. They stuck the probe down my throat and nose and all that stuff.
It goes all the way down.
They're like, it's fucked up, but it's fucked up enough. You're fine.
Yeah, it's not fucked up enough that we need to do anything about it. Just fucked up enough that it bothers you.
So anyway, tell them more about you getting probed.
Well, apparently I have very narrow nasal passages. It's the only thing narrow about me is the insides. My hips aren't narrow. Everything is wide on the outside.
Thick.
Yeah, I'm a big girl. But apparently inside, because I've also been told, I don't know if this is TMI, but...
I have a narrow urethra.
Oh, yeah, but for real, I've always had a really, medical professionals have always had a really hard time getting a catheter in me.
Yeah.
Anytime I've ever been really sick and needed one, or when delivering children, because both of my children were C-sections. So I needed a catheter for that. And so anyway, she shakes this I don't know what else to call it but a probe.
Yeah, I think
it's like a little camera.
There's probably a real word for it. But
yeah, exactly.
A camera or whatever.
A scope.
Oh, a scope.
That's what it is, a scope.
Yeah, it takes the scope.
I was trying to think what she called it.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to jump in here real quick because something just kind of dawned on me. Like, I wonder if your narrowness has anything to do with the connective tissue.
Right? You're right.
Because that makes a lot of sense. Anyway, side note, this is all inside baseball of our life. But our son is a Gumby child, can bend in ways that he shouldn't.
People are not supposed to bend.
So he's been diagnosed with a
connective
tissue disorder. Sorry. No specific one, which I think is odd. They're just like, he's fucking stretchy.
The reason that it wasn't... The reason that he doesn't have a specific one is because tests to determine are...
Keep on. You were popping. You were doing a lot of popping.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Tests to determine
certain things
are invasive and painful. So they weren't going to do it, especially when he was younger.
Yeah.
A kid. Because it's like Spinal Tap type shit and stuff, I think.
Brutal.
I don't know specifically.
Yeah.
I just know that they told me when he was younger that they didn't want to do the test because it would be a lot of pain and for
no reason, but not.
It wasn't urgent enough. It wasn't necessary to do it. Okay. Plus we're Canadian, so they don't do anything that is not
necessary.
Absolutely necessary test-wise, because we don't pay for that shit.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Logan has a connective tissue disorder, which has led them to believe that I do as well, because it's genetic. You don't just get it out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And you're fine. Like, you're, structural wise, you've never had.
I definitely am not connective tissue. I'm like the least
opposite
stretchy.
of that.
Yeah.
Yes, you don't stretch at all.
No.
But I have always been very flexible for a fat girl.
Yeah.
Which is, I've said that for years. Well, that was.
Yeah,
sorry,
ding
just
fries
hit
are
my-
done.
Yeah, hit my water bottle. But yeah, so back to what I was talking about, the narrow,
scope, the scope going into your nasal. passages,
narrow nasal passages. She had to like push to get through, to get down to like see my vocal cords.
Damn, did you pull out, spit on it, and put it back in? Try to give a little lube?
No, she lubed it up beforehand.
Well, that's always a good way to go.
Yeah, she had like this tube of lube.
Tube of lube. Yo, baby, give me that tube of lube.
You're so weird.
Sorry.
But yeah, she just stood there with this long scope.
How much of it did she lube up? 6 inches, 10 inches?
At least 6 inches, because she had to go all the way down there.
Sweet.
You're weird. Why you want to know that? Anyway. She had difficulty getting through my face, is what the gist of it. And, but yeah, I found that there was nothing super scary that, with, a couple changes and a couple different things.
Yeah, so it actually was pretty good news. We were kind of worried about how it was going to go. Like, it's so anybody that knows MDI from any of our other shows that we've done over the last 10 years, could probably,
it's been 10 years.
Yeah, you could probably tell that she sounds a lot different than she used to.
Yeah, I sound a lot more mannish.
No, not mannish. You just got that like low rasp. It's not, I wouldn't call it mannish, but we were always worried because, and you used to like to sing and you still do a little bit, but we were worried that they fucked some shit up. That it was super damaged. And they're just like, no, your shit just does not know how to relax right now.
Yeah, exactly. My vocal cords and all the muscles around it, essentially. Whenever I try to, like, because my normal speaking voice is not so bad.
Right.
It's when I try to, my laughing, I notice that I don't have a lot of sound when I laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, yelling or trying to make my voice louder than.
Yeah. Anytime you like kind of raise it or whatever.
Anytime I try to raise my voice, it becomes kind of loud and squeaky. And the other thing is I need a lot of air to be able to make my voice work even now, just as my speaking voice. Yeah. I have to have a lot of air.
Well, yeah. And like, it might sound kind of labored. You're not. It's just, you need more air now to.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just, that's the vocal cord issue, that I have to have a lot of air to be able to make noise. If I run out of air, that there's no noise.
Yeah. It just stops. Out. I'm like, what are you saying? Why are you mouthing at me?
But yeah. So anyway,
but it was good news.
Went well. It was good news. I have some medication and some different things that are supposed to help. And the thought pattern or whatever is that within a year or so of when all of this started, I should be better or getting better.
Well, and that's the thing. We told a lot in the first episode, and every episode will sprinkle our light. Like, it's Talk Life for a reason. Like, there's jokes, there's little things that we'll do. We'll talk about the news, we'll talk about weird shit, but for the most part, it's things just kind of going on in our life, which is strange. And it's nice because we've been doing it for 10 years. We do have people that have kind of followed us. It's tough as a podcaster who we're not famous, we're nothing. And for people to just be genuinely interested in our life is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Which is why we talk about this kind of stuff a lot.
Really crazy, interesting, sad.
Well, yes.
Life.
Well, luckily we both have very good sense of humor to try to make it through. But with the issues with your vocal cords and all that, like have essentially, like, we've been depressed for a long time, for a few years now. But like after you were in your coma and everything, I think the last couple of months we just like literally let everything go. We were
absolutely.
We just lived every day, the bare minimum we could.
Yeah.
We do the things we have to do.
Who gives a shit mentality.
Yeah. And so that is something that we've kind of decided to change this week.
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to turn that around.
Because like, so one of the things, or one of the many things that we've kind of let go, not only our physical appearance, we've been eating junk like crazy, just like, fuck it. We're like, the world is blowing up. We don't care. I'm gonna die fat and sassy. and same with, I
always say fat and slobby.
Fat and slobby. Because
I've always been sassy.
Yeah, true. So this week we kind of, you had talked to some physicians and whatnot, and you had 2 or 3 of them literally sit you down and be like, okay, but listen.
Well, yeah, the ENT even, I can't remember exactly what I said to her that made her be like, you were in a coma, right? Yeah. And I was just like, yeah. And she was like,
coma. I know. I had to sleep.
Like, no. You know how many people that can say they've been in a coma and come out of it and been relatively, she's like, no offense, but you're relatively normal. And I was like, well, yeah.
You were like, listen to the podcast, bitch. You have no idea.
No, but like I'm mentally, I'm okay. Like I can, I'm still me. I know I'm still intelligent. I do drop I drop words and stuff in my brain every now and then, which I have also been told is completely normal for being in a coma. The thing
that pisses me off about that, I do that worse than you, and I've never been in a coma. Like, I forget what things are. Our entire life, I forget what things are. I'm like, heat that up in the TV. What?
Yeah, that's ADHD.
Oh, probably.
You need
Squirrel?
ADHD meds.
What? Okay.
Anyway, exactly. That's our whole podcast has gone this way.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, if anybody listens to our show and they're like, man, they just go off on tangents. That's my stupid brain. I can't help it.
Off with a story about.
Yeah, they never finished what happened.
Yes, the story never finished.
Yeah, sorry. That's just living with someone with ADHD.
I finished the ENT story though, pretty much. Oh, she was the first like doctor in the last little while to be like, give yourself a break. And that's essentially what she said to me. And then I went and talked to my psychologist and my counselor, because I have one of each.
We got lots of people. Like, look, I'm sorry, it's 2023. If you aren't talking to mental health people, either 1, your life is awesome, or 2, you're screwing yourself, because everybody needs to fucking talk to somebody
every now and then.
We are living in the weirdest times ever. We are both the most solid we are, as well as we are the most divided we probably have ever been.
Yeah, people are so goddamn lonely because they don't know how to go out and mingle and be around people anymore.
And
so used to sitting at home and being on social media, which is not social at all.
No, not at all.
The way that humans need.
No, and I think originally it was like when Facebook and stuff first came out, it was like
kind of social people.
Yeah, and like talk and now it's like it became a marketing tool, and now everything is just a marketing tool. And don't get me wrong, you probably found this podcast out on one of the social medias, but for the most part, one of the things that I've done over the last couple of years is I've cut way back on my social media stuff. I jump on if somebody has tagged me, or I look through the feed very briefly,
very quick,
or I post our stuff, and then I get off, because
you were social media.
I was like, well, because I wanted like stuff to grow, right? So I got stuck in that. We did the Twitter widow video, which
and that was we made that funny, but that was real.
No, it was real. I was like obsessed with this shit, meeting as many people as I can to get the word out about our shows and about this and about that. And Like,
but then you realize you're so fucking lonely because all you do is sit and play on your phone all day.
Yeah, it was annoying. The people around me were the ones that were getting ignored. The people that were right here.
But and that's the problem with everyone right now. Like, everyone is spending so much time on their phones, but complaining that they're lonely. And it's like, well, put your fucking phone down and talk to people. Go out and do things. Don't just sit there on your phone.
Totally. But I think part of the problem with that, unfortunately, is when COVID happened, we spent 2 years locked indoors being like, stay away from everybody. Yes. Don't go anywhere. So like, even now, when we go out to like a store or whatever, I have anxiety as fuck. Because I was the one that went out during the pandemic.
Well, yeah, you were the healthy one.
And so, like, I was like a fucking ninja running around these stores, ducking people, staying as far away, and like crazy stuff because they told us crazy stuff. So I would have a mask on and I would hold my breath in when I'd walk past people just in case one of those motherfuckers would sneeze on me. And like, it was just crazy. You came
home and you changed your clothes right away.
But I did have 1 to 2 people, depending on when in the pandemic it was, that were immune compromised.
Yes, we did.
So I never wanted to. And then this is my brain where I was like, if I'm the reason she dies because, like, I
brought COVID into the house.
I don't think I would be able to go through that.
Right, but. You didn't, so cool.
But that's what I mean. I think ever since the pandemic, a lot of us have honestly forgot how to interact. We are scared of people. We are scared to do any of that stuff. Prior to the pandemic, we would we're both weed smokers. It's legal up here in Canada, and also wherever it's not legal, just do it. It's fucking awesome. But like, fuck you.
Don't get caught.
You pass it around. It didn't matter. And like, now you're like,
oh yeah, we were sharing.
Don't touch my joint, motherfucker.
Right? We would share a joint with 8-10 people.
They
were all friends of ours, people we knew, but still, like, that was something we would do. 4 months before COVID hit, it was totally normal for us to just be like,
wasn't I think it was at the Metallica concert. I took a hit off a guy's joint. I don't know him.
Yeah, well, that was a couple years before.
But still,
yeah, absolutely.
But back then, it didn't matter. One of the whole sections about the cannabis community is sharing is caring,
right?
Because it's a plant and it's medicine. It's not like the fucking man-made shit. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, you do.
So going back to what we were talking about before, she was the first person to be like, "You were in a coma."
Yeah, told me to give myself a break.
And so then you talked to your
I talked to my psychologist, and my psychologist was like, yeah, you do need to give yourself a break. Coma. So then I went to see a psychiatrist because they wanted to make sure they wanted to do a med check to see if the psychiatrist thought I should be on any more loopy pills.
Yeah, how much more can we throw at this bitch?
Well, I have down days where I'm just like, life is not worth living, and I just want to fucking die.
We call those the dark days.
Right, they're the dark days. And so they wanted to check and see if I needed any more medication or anything. But yeah, in talking to this psychiatrist, he's an African gentleman.
Okay.
And our daughter and I, she's loved taking on this little
persona.
Yeah, because he's got a little accent and he's a very nice man. But yeah, he just said, look at me, you were in a coma. A coma. And I was just like, I know. And he's like, you know how many people can say that and walk around? And I was just like, no.
Well, yeah, and I think that's pretty crazy that in February we went through that, you know? Like we just did it.
Yeah. There's just something
like to us, it was another thing. We're like, she was in a coma, whatever. Get back. Let's go.
Let's go. We're back to life now.
And
but other people are like, hold on, wait. coma.
Yeah, and like we're bagging on ourselves, like, I don't know why we can't fucking get through this depression and blah blah blah. And they're like, well, hold on, like this bitch was in a
coma, right?
And came out of it, intubated, activated, and like
it was only twice.
I know, but it felt like a million, and and so we've decided we're in a coma. Yeah, we're gonna chill a little, and it's crazy, man. We just took it head on and like was just because that's how crazy our life is. Like anybody who's been following our life for the last 10 years, eventually MDI is going to write a book. She's gotta. That's
actually what my psychologist told me this past week is that I could be a peer tutor and tell my story and just help people because we haven't gotten into it too much, but I was not treated well as a child either. I was abused and beaten and not treated well as a child. And I've been through a lot of trauma in my life. So, she's like, you need to write a book. And once you're through this, and then that's the crazy part. I'm like, I was in the coma in February and they're still saying, once you're through this.
Yeah. Meanwhile, and we're like through it.
Shouldn't I be through it by now?
She's awake. She's walking. She's through it.
They're like, no.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps telling me that I need to give myself at least a year from when I came home, not from when I woke up.
Yeah.
But because I was in the hospital for 2 weeks after I woke up.
Right.
So, from the middle of March or so, that's when I was home. So, I think it was the 17th I came home.
Something like that,
But anyway, everybody's telling me I need to give myself until at least the time when I came home, a whole year. And then maybe I can start to be like, what the hell? I'm not all better yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, a fucking year? A year. And then they're like, coma.
Yeah. Yeah. And then me on the other side.
And apparently coma is trump card.
Yeah. Well, coma. Hey, can you say that? I wish we could use it in everyday things. Like,
I think the only
I want this car. I was in a coma.
Right? I think the only thing that trumps coma is like organ transplant.
Like you gave your organs away?
No, to get organ transplant.
You could be like, this is not even my normal heart. This is somebody else's heart.
No, I mean like to trump it. Like you were in a coma versus you had an organ transplant. Like,
it's a weird game of poker you're playing,
right?
But
I'm just saying.
No,
the coma card is a trump.
It's definitely a good card to have. But it's so funny because our life is just so crazy that we just did it.
We just were like,
and then
whatever.
My brain just like, it's funny. Well, it's not funny, but when it happened,
it's funny.
when it happened, I was like, I knew everything. I was on top of it. Like my ADHD brain took a break and like worked for me instead of against me.
Yeah, you were like, I'm going to focus on what is happening with my wife's health.
And then like at some point shortly after we got you home, you're like, I
don't need this fucking information
I'll tuck this into a box. I never need to think about this again. And then every once in a while I'll have a couple of dark days and I'm just like, why am I having dark days? And
then you'll say something that, because I don't remember a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like there's a good 2-3 days that before I went into the coma, 2 days.
Yeah, too.
That I do not remember.
Which is insane because I thought
I was up and talking.
Yeah.
And but I
you weren't there.
I just don't remember them at all. And then obviously I don't remember the coma. I only remember the first, like the night before I woke up kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or the day before I woke up. But anyway, so you still every now and then come out with something that I'm like, what? you did what? I did what? What? And you're like, yeah, well, you didn't. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe you haven't told me this shit.
Well, no, and it's because at this point I've forgotten. At the time I probably didn't tell you because I'm like, this is more shit she doesn't need to know. And then,
well, yeah, just mortifying shit.
All of a sudden, like something will pop into my head, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, this happened." And you'll be like, "What?" And I'm like, "I forgot about it, but it's real." I was looking for song lyrics in my brain. I just
shoved that in the back, yeah.
And in the back, I found this. But yeah, it's tough, and that's why I say, like, look, man, everybody goes through a lot of stuff, and it's very easy to just be a survivor and just push your way through. But if you aren't, like, please go talk to somebody. Like, if you have any sort of bad vibes, bad days, anything, there are so many resources out there for you to go and figure out, especially in Canada, but I'm sure there are helplines and such if you're one of our listeners from the States or other countries. Google them or whatever you have to try to figure that out.
Family doctor or whatever, nurse practitioner, whatever you have, ask them to point you in the right direction.
Yeah, and understand that a lot of things that you go through aren't your control, and give yourself a break.
Yeah, give yourself a break. It's a major, it's a life motto that I'm like taking on right now. And when I told my psychologist this week, I just met with her a couple days ago. I'm like, I've decided to give myself a break. And she was so happy. She was like, oh my God. Like, she had tears in her eyes.
Oh
she was
my
like,
God.
I'm so, no,
I know, but it sounded like that meme.
Oh, you're an ass.
Oh my God. But anyway, yes.
She was very happy and very excited for me that I'm going to put effort toward living and not just, letting myself be stuck in the dark.
Yeah, just float through the stuff.
So yeah, I'm actively trying to not get stuck in the depression, as we call the depression, very sticky. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're getting our groove back. We're gonna live rather than just survive.
Exactly.
We've decided.
Yeah, and then when you have a day, take a day or take two if you need to.
Yeah, if you do have a dark day, allow it.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to go through it, and don't be so hard on yourself for it.
Oh my God, I am the fucking worst.
Because we end up being so hard on ourselves that we're having a dark day that we end up having several instead of one.
Days, yeah.
Yeah, because we're so hard on ourselves.
I know.
But anyway, yeah,
I know,
we got to get out of it.
And I feel super bad about it because, like, in my brain, I didn't go through the coma stuff. But I did.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I wasn't in the coma, but I was the guy on the outside of the coma
me go through
dealing with all that.
Like, in your own mind, you were useless. You couldn't help me,
Yeah.
Like,
well, and it's crazy because in so many ways I have grown. Like, shit'll happen with you or the kids or somebody outside of the family, and I'll just be like, yeah, no problem.
I can handle it.
And then yesterday I thought I lost my glasses. And like
sunglasses.
Yeah, my sunglasses. And it was like I was in the truck and I grabbed myself by the collar and I was like, you motherfucker, where's those fucking glasses? You piece of shit. You do this all the time. You're fucking useless. And then I was like, holy shit, my wife was in a coma. Like,
give yourself a break.
Yeah. And so yesterday I found the glasses. I actually had a really great couple of days. They were dark. They were hard. But yesterday I came home. And I literally just vomited on you.
Vomit, yeah.
And Datch about, hey man, I am not nice to myself.
You aren't. You're awful.
seem to be nice to everybody else. I figured out how, because
I'm the same way.
I've had rage issues and things like that. And I feel like I've gotten, for the most part, all of that under control, other than when it's aimed at myself.
Yeah.
Then I fight dirty as shit. So that's where we're at. We've decided, look, it's time to live, and we're 40, and I know this seems late.
40's the new 30.
Absolutely.
I was just told that.
Oh well, good.
I was,
because I don't fucking feel 40, feel 80, but
no,
But that's it. So this week we started working out, which is going pretty good so far.
Yeah.
We're starting doing.
Yeah, we're doing some low impact, like wall Pilates and just floor Pilates type stuff.
Going for walks.
Low impact stuff because my body is wrecked.
Yeah.
Like I've always had bad knees, and then my hips are getting bad as I get older, and then the coma just fucked everything up.
Yeah.
Because now I have neuropathy in my feet, and I never had that before. And
no, that's not.
I don't have what's called the dorsiflex, which is
Google it.
Google it, bitch.
But
the ability to keep your heel on the ground. If you're standing, keep your heels on the ground and lift your toes up toward you.
Yeah, try that right now. Yeah, if you're sitting there, just put your foot on the ground and then lift your toes up towards your knee.
It should be one of the easiest fucking things in the world.
It's not.
And not for me.
Like, not for you. And that was one of those things when you tried to do it when we were still in the hospital, and my brain was like... and like the doctor's like, I'm like, she can't move the feet up, dude. Like that's
totally fucked.
A baby can do that shit. Why can't she?
They're like, that's common after being in a coma.
Yeah, this fucking coma.
I'm doing all these, I started doing all these, different exercises and stuff to try and get this dorsiflex back. My right foot has come back a little bit. My left foot has not at all. And I think that's also, I got really down about that because it wasn't coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And I pretty much stopped doing the exercises and stuff a few weeks back, and which I should have kept going, but I got so depressed about it.
Well, yeah, what are you going to do? And that's what I mean. That's where it falls back on you. Got to be easier on yourself.
And I got
nicer
to the point
yourself.
where it's been 6 months, and I'm just like, fuck
this fucking leg doesn't work.
Yeah, like nothing's fucking, everything sucks.
Forget it. I want to die. But
yeah, so like swimming and stuff is not as easy for me either as it used to be. And like walking up and down stairs.
Stairs are fucking
Try
brutal.
Fucking walking up and down stairs without being able to lift
don't
your
move your
fucking
feet.
toes. Oh, anyway.
But yeah.
I'm working on it.
Exactly. And that's the biggest thing. Number one is just working on it.
Yeah. And not giving up because you don't see instant
changes or improvement. Yeah.
Because
and that's the same with weight. That's the same with working out.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while before we see any changes.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about losing weight or seeing the
No, but I know I'm just saying that because there's probably a lot of listeners that some people will start working out, and after a couple of weeks you can't see anything. It takes time, man. Like some people, they lift 4 weights and they look like a golden god. Like
those people
that
suck.
Is unlikely for most of us.
We hate them people.
So you fucking, what are you working out? You fucking exercise son of a bitch.
You metabolism having.
But yeah. What? Fuck you and your working metabolism, you thyroid motherfucker.
You metabolism having motherfucker.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's kind of where we've been at. Like I know this has been kind of a long drawn out process, but a lot of what this show is going to be is us talking about
our life.
What the fuck we are going through.
Yeah.
And this is one, and just know that we are here for you guys too. Like if you are having any sort of mental issues and you're too worried to talk to anybody, talk to us. We'll tell you what's up, man.
Well, I can handle almost anything.
Yeah. You've been in a coma.
Well, yeah. But I guarantee I'd bet any listener that there's nothing you've been through that I haven't been through.
Yeah.
Nothing.
True. And that's just it, man. Sometimes you just got to reach out, and maybe we're strangers, but it doesn't matter. We're fucking available on all social media.
Yeah,
like I said, I check it if
psychologist says I could be a peer tutor. So
yeah. Well, I would look, if you had your choice, go to MDI. Don't come to me right away.
Yeah, he'll just fuck with you.
I will probably mess with you, but know that it's because I love you and I believe that you deserve better. And I don't even know you, but it's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what we've been doing. That's the last couple of weeks. And I know there's still a lot of fuckery with trying to get our pods out the way that, because when back in my day when we started in 2013, you just clicked a link and your shit was on the internet, and now you have to do all these other things.
They've made it more complicated.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Even that, it's aside from that. So I have an album that I wrote when I was like 15, 17, somewhere in there, and then we put out when we were 15, like probably 18, 20 or whatever. It came out in 2000. And so finally I was like, I came across it, and
we were
I've
born
had
in 83, so that makes us 17.
Okay, thanks for that. But either way, so this album came out in 2000. It's been sitting around doing nothing forever, and I've had a lot of people kind of asking about it. So I was like, all right, I'll put it out on the internet. Holy fuck, is that hard now? You used to just go to iTunes and be like, this is my album, and put it out. Now you have to have a fucking third party person, depending on if you want to spend money or not. So it's I submitted it a month ago. It's going to come out on Sunday. A fucking album that's 23 years old, because I didn't want to pay the extra money. And it's so funny because it's starting to send me updates like, are you ready for this album to drop? And I'm like, yes, 23 years ago.
2000.
I am 40. I do not do that anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just that's just me, old man, grumbling about the internet now. But
yes, you are an old man grumbling.
It is true. Okay. What do you got for show notes? Anything fun over there? One show note. This is a stupid show note, but it popped into my head because we were driving, and I know a lot of times. So when people go to graveyards or cemeteries, I guess that's a better word,
to pay their respects to their loved ones.
Well, yeah, but let's say you're going to pay your respects. People try not to walk on other graves.
Usually,
they do all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so we're driving, and I see this guy, and he's cutting a lawn. He's walking through all the graves, and I'm just like, that's interesting.
Well, he has to cut the grass.
Well, that's exactly. But I never, and I don't know why, I never thought of it.
Maybe he's apologizing the entire time.
I'm so sorry. I need to cut this grass. Like, it's just very interesting.
Well,
a lot of times they're like, you're standing on my ancestors. Yeah. This guy walks on your ancestors once a week.
Well, yeah.
But it's a necessary thing. Otherwise, it's a fucking jungle.
Like clean and tidy.
So yeah, I don't. I just that kind of hit me very oddly because I know that anytime we've been there, they're like, "Well, don't walk in the graves. Stay on this side.
Be respectful."
And I'm like, this dude he's just chopping the fucking shit down. Like he's got I'm gonna weed whip your tombstone now.
Maybe he stands in front. Like maybe when he gets there, he just kind of talks to all the graves.
Dear Mr. Henderson.
No. He doesn't.
Like he stands at the gates.
Yes, and he's just like, all right, it's time to cut the grass. I'm going to be stepping on all y'all's graves. I'm sorry, but y'all like to have clean and tidy grave sites.
You guys want your family to come?
Yeah, your family would be upset if I didn't.
I'm gonna have to cut this shit.
Y'all clean and tidy.
Yeah. Nobody haunt me.
Yes, please don't haunt me.
This is my job. I don't get paid much for it. I don't want to go home and have a specter fucking throw some shit at me.
Yeah, as it is, I get bitten by mosquitoes.
Yeah, right.
And and I'm allergic to grass.
He's getting bit by mosquitoes. He's talking to the graves. He's like, you guys don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
Fucking ghosts are like, you cocksucker. No, we don't know what it's like. We're fucking dead. Now weed whip my fucking headstone.
Oh man.
But
it's kind of the same
vein.
Scope.
Ooh,
we were driving through town the other day, and there was a house that has not been taken care of lawn wise.
Okay.
In a long time. The lawn was very long. The bushes were overgrown. You could barely see the fucking house.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I said, that looks like Dave Spidey's house.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who the fuck is Dave Spidey?
What are you talking about? Now, for our American listeners, you might not understand this. I'm hoping our Canadian listeners know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't, in the 90s, Canadian Tire came out with a commercial. And it was actually several commercials, I believe. that started the same. And then depending on what they were showcasing, it changed a little. So they said, they were, showcasing lawnmowers and hedge trimmers, whatever.
Right. Yeah. Lawn care items.
They'd say like, in order to test these out and make sure that they're perfect prime, we're going to take these to Dave Spidey's house. We have a place where we go. And it was one of those things. It was a commercial that I always, as a child, I found it a little bit funny because it was like, this is where we go to test all of our products. Dave Spidey's house. And it was the most overgrown house.
It was like a jungle.
Exactly. You could imagine. And then it would show them using. Yeah,
Spidey out there cutting shit down.
Yeah, no, it was Canadian Tire employees.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, because I remember, so this is a thing they do.
If he was going to cut down, if he was going to maintain his lawn, he would do it himself.
Well, the way that I took it is that, so Canadian Tire's big thing is they do this where they test out all the products.
Tried, tested, approved, or whatever.
Yeah. And so anyway, so to me, they made Dave grow his shit out. So then they were like, Dave, your shit is fucking atrocious.
Yeah.
If we cut this lawn, I think there's a Winnebago in here somewhere. And so I think Dave Spidey was the guy that but I could be wrong, but I think
he was just the test house because he didn't.
So was Spidey in the house like, God, I hate when they cut my lawn?
No, they probably call him up and they're like, okay, Dave, we're going to come on the 20th to do the grass.
Yeah, we're going to film.
And then, yeah, exactly. And then the next day we're going to do the hedge trimmers.
Yeah.
And then the leaf blowers.
By the end of it, this is going to look really good, Dave. Right. And he's like, well, don't touch my fucking apple tree. But yeah, and then, so it's funny because, so there was a lot of this and there actually where we are, in Manitoba is most of the northern testing because we're so far north that like we get the cold. We are the real cold. And so any sort of winter testing for vehicles, for anything like that, they do it up here. And there's like, as you're heading out of the highway, there's literally, I think it's called Test Road. And you go down and there's like this giant complex where they do all these testing and different things.
Yeah, but you're actually not allowed to go down there if you're not.
Yeah, you need badges and shit.
General public is not allowed to go down there.
But
yeah, they test crazy shit.
New cars, all that stuff gets tested here.
To make sure that they're winter
ready, they can be durable for the winter and whatnot. And like I'm pretty sure back in the day, similar to Spidey's house, I think they had done like I think like windshield wipers for the winter and different things like that. That all gets tested up here. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, at the time I'm like, who the fuck is Dave Spidey and what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, because you didn't. Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't remember it. I don't really necessarily remember the name until you said it. And now I can kind of see it. But
I'm sure if we go on YouTube, we could find the commercials.
If I can find it, I'm going to put it in the post at nftfyb.com.
But yeah, so as we mentioned, we did take a trip down to down to Winnipeg.
Shout right now we're in the north. That's right.
And had some interesting things happen down there. I got in trouble in a cab. And the cab driver.
Oh, yeah.
He yelled at me in the most nice way.
Oh, well, that's so sweet.
Remember?
Yeah, I remember it now. At first I didn't, but I remember it now.
Pretty lady, I'm so sorry, but you may not use your vape in my car.
So, yeah, MDI, she's, like I said, we dabbled in the old cannabis.
Well, I just been at the ENTs and I had that thing shoved down my nose and my face hurt and I was going to meet your coworkers. So I was stressed about that. So I was hitting the vape on the way. All the fucking car windows were down.
But I get it.
When we stopped at a light, there was a guy smoking a cigarette in his car next to us that was causing way more, like that went all in the car and you could smell cigarette everywhere.
Yeah.
But like, oh no, my vape.
Well, yeah. I hate that fruity smell.
Right.
But yeah, you just gangster straight up just hitting your vape in this cab. Like, shut up and drive me where I said to go.
Yeah, that's right.
That's hilarious. But yeah, you were like, I totally just did it. I just wasn't thinking.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like I was like, wow. I was in a coma.
That's right.
Sometimes that happens. My brain just goes, minute. But yeah, when I got in and started using it, it's not like I had malicious
you're like, I'm going to do this.
I know matter. I'm not allowed, but I'm going to do it anyway. It was just
happened.
What I do. Yeah. And then he was like, yeah, pretty lady, you may not use your vape in my car.
Which is great. He could have been like, hey, whore. Right? Stop puffing that robot dick in my car.
Wow. Robot dick?
Yeah.
Really?
Really? That's what they call him. But yeah, so that was pretty interesting.
Meeting all your coworkers was fun.
That was
they
cool.
Were nice.
Oh yeah, they're
very nice.
Really cool people. The whole thing. I
Lunch
really
was
like
terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we won't say the name of the restaurant because we won't call them out or anything. But I ordered a Clubhouse sandwich, and when my sandwich came, the bread, like the toast, you could tell was toasted a great long time.
Yeah, like a week ago. Yeah.
I'd say a half hour, but a week, whatever. So it was so hard. It literally ripped through my mouth. Like after one bite, I had scratches and sores inside my mouth.
Yeah, like I don't know if you've ever had like really toasted toast. It's like eating fiberglass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And not only that, the chicken that was on my Clubhouse was, which to start is weird. It's not usually chicken. It's turkey bacon.
Yeah.
lettuce.
Yeah. Turkey bacon club. Yeah. All these lazy fucks just put some chicken.
But yeah, and that's not, it was like how it showed it on the menu.
No, it was like cubed
It was
chicken.
little cubes of chicken that had been just decimated. Like they were cooked and cooked and cooked and cooked some more.
Mm-hmm.
And then put in the microwave.
Yeah.
To heat them up.
But, so who the fuck eats cubes on a sandwich?
Yeah, they
How
were
the fuck are you supposed to keep those on
They
there?
were falling out. Plus, they were just like, it was like eating fucking leather. Yeah. Chunks of fucking leather. It was unbelievable. I had 2 bites and I was just like, oh my God, this is so bad. I ended up, and then it's so little mayonnaise.
It's like they spit mayonnaise.
Yeah, it was a tiny of mayonnaise. Like the chicken was so dry. The bacon was so dry.
Yeah.
I don't even eat bacon. I opened it up and gave you the bacon.
Mm-hmm.
But
and then I ate the
tiny
bacon
amount
and
of
it
lettuce.
was dry.
Tiny amount of lettuce and the smallest amount of mayonnaise I've ever seen on.
And it's crazy because like this place is supposed to be amazing.
It's supposed to be a great place.
So that came out. Our fries had been deep fried 8 times.
Oh my God, they were so bad. They were dark brown. Like
they were either cooked a few times or they haven't changed the grease or the oil.
Yes,
in a
the deep
fucking
fryers
lifetime.
Forever.
And this was lunch. We were like the only table. Like, yes, we were a table of 10, but that's all you really had to do.
That busy in the restaurant. No.
And we were there for 2 hours.
I gave back my entire plate of food.
Yeah.
Like the waitress came to check and see how's everything tasting, and I was like, you can take this.
How about you taste this
entire plate of food back? She's like, what's
Fiberglass
wrong?
And shoe leather.
Oh my goodness! And I was like, But yeah, so they ended up taking my meal off the bill, which was, the least that they could have done.
Right.
But yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, it was super, super unfortunate.
I've had bad food in a restaurant before, but I've never ever given back my entire plate of food and been like, this is disgusting.
Well, yeah, and after we had been there for an hour and a half or whatever the hell it had been,
so
what
long.
What are you going to do? Like
out the food?
Here, try again, and then we're there. Eating supper.
Yeah.
Like,
do you want me to bring you out something else? Fuck no. I'll go back to my hotel room. And eat my cucumber salad that I made myself. And brought from home.
Bitch.
Which is what I did.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, it was great. It was great. I work for an excellent company. Like, I never say where I work or what I do or anything like that, but everybody was super cool, and it's awesome. I really enjoy this company.
Yeah, me too. I really like your company.
So for us, Winnipeg and food did not go together well.
No, it did not.
Because
that night.
Yeah, go ahead.
That night, we decided we wanted to try and go out for Chinese.
Yeah, because we have a Chinese restaurant here. It has a film on it. Everything
has a film on it.
And so one of the biggest things when we go to the PEG is
we try to find decent Chinese food.
Decent Chinese, or at least something we don't have here.
Yes. And this time, because we were just there in June, and we had fairly good Chinese food.
It was good, but
we were in a completely different area of Winnipeg this time, so we couldn't, or like we could have gone to the same place, but we wanted to go somewhere more local,
right?
So, so we get all dressed and ready for dinner.
Well, and like the place that everybody was raving about this. We looked up online. We're like, this is going to be fucking awesome.
It had amazing reviews. It said it was open. Yeah. And then we drive 15, 20 minutes to get there. Mostly
closed
because
on
of traffic.
Closed on a Thursday.
Closed on a Thursday.
Says you're open. Google says you're open, but you are fucking closed.
So we ended up going to a generic fucking
roadhousey.
Yes.
Whatever.
Exactly. Like bar and grill type place.
Yeah, just like whatever.
And the meal was okay.
It was subpar, but it was like it.
But yeah,
it was edible. But it was it was
something we could have gotten here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like it was just disappointing.
Yeah, it was.
Disappointed.
And that, like the unfortunate thing is the majority of this this trip was disappointing because the food sucked.
Yeah.
The beds were terrible.
The beds. It wasn't the beds. It was the pillows.
It was the pillows. Either way, we all came out of it with back problems, neck problems, and.
Well, yeah, you and I both. We spent 2 nights. Because your company wanted you to spend some time there. Yeah. And you actually worked that day as well. And I got to learn some shit. Which you were too hard on yourself that day as well. So that's why your back was fucking jacked. But anyway.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah. That was unfortunate. And
but at least we didn't slam our hand in a car door.
That was my next note.
Yeah.
So
as we were packing
getting ready to
leave the hotel,
back on that 8-hour trip,
in the hotel parking lot, there across the parking lot was a younger couple, younger than us, probably 30s, and they had at least one child that I saw. They were packing their vehicle. She slammed his hand in the door.
Oh, yeah.
The yell that this man let out. I don't know if I've ever heard a man make such a sound in my entire life. Like it was like, but worse than that. What worse? It was unbelievable. So like we just immediately get on like, what's happening? Like, oh my God. You start to run, but then realize it's, not an emergency. They don't need help. It's an emergency, but they didn't need help situation.
Right. Sorry, I was trying to get to something before you could get to the fucking thing, but
I'm sorry.
God for fucking bid. When I don't know if y'all have ever tried to search fuck all on your phone. I constantly put fucking periods, so then the stupid fucking phone thinks I'm looking for a website instead of just searching what the fuck I'm looking for. Anyway, this was what it kind of sounded like.
Yeah.
Like this guy did like a Homer Simpson scream.
Yeah.
It was so high pitched. Like we thought somebody's been stabbed.
Yeah. And like I said, you got ready to run. Like you were like, oh my God.
Well, yeah, I'm like, okay, do I
need to help?
Do I gotta help? Do I gotta protect my wife? Like what's about to happen?
Like we saw him shaking his hand.
Oh yeah, this poor guy just like had his one hand in his other hand and looked like he was praying to the Jesuses. Like, oh my God,
please don't
give
let
me strength.
lose my hand.
Yeah, exactly. Like she must have closed his entire hand into that door.
Man. And I heard the car, like the door shut as well. Like it was like car shut, scream. Like it was almost the exact same time because I was just standing there. You don't let me pack the truck.
Yeah.
So yeah, poor guy. Poor guy.
And
yeah, fuck. Yeah. So when and then when they left a few minutes later, she was driving.
Oh yeah, no, they were probably driving straight to the fucking ER.
Oh man,
he's like, you broke every bone
in my hand, bitch.
in my body.
Bitch broke my hand. Oh man, it was brutal.
Yeah, like I thought a woman screamed at first, but then no, it was just a gentleman. Like the scream was like, I assume if you closed your balls in a car door, like that's how high pitched.
Oh
and crazy
yeah,
it was.
It was brutal. It was a brutal scream.
Yeah, I don't know. That was, and then in that moment, I think both of us were like, Winnipeg wasn't that bad.
Yeah, at least your back was jacked up.
Yeah.
We literally had to go to a store to get you like icy hat patches.
Oh yeah, fuck! I was an idiot. Like,
but yeah, you were stupid. You were so.
You're
blaming the bed, but it really had very little to do with the hotel.
Well, no,
beds.
the bed sucked.
The beds were fine.
No, fuck that bed.
You're used to our bed. We now have. After I got out of the hospital, I ordered on Amazon a topper, a foam topper for our bed.
Yeah.
That is like 2.5 or 3 inches wide.
Something like that, yeah.
So we have the most amazing, like you lay
it's
on
like
it and
sleeping on a pillow.
Exactly. It's such a nice, soft, but like it cradles you so nicely.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now anytime.
Almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, if you heard that door slam, that's our daughter.
She tiptoes around the house, but then slams the door.
Yeah, she's been walking around for a few minutes. You probably haven't heard anything. She's done very well, but she is a shit ninja and would have been caught. But yeah, so that was our Winnipeg trip.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess it wasn't so bad. And then our drive home wasn't too bad. I don't think anything crazy happened in our drive home. But
no, and fuck, I mean it's summer, so everywhere in fucking Canada it's just nonstop construction. So that
luckily we were going home on a Friday afternoon. So
oh yeah, those dudes cut out early.
Yeah, almost all the construction dudes had gone home.
Yeah, like we caught them on the way in pretty bad. Not terrible, but pretty bad. And then on the way back, like they were like, "It is Friday and it is noon. We are no longer working."
It's Friday. We go home if they worked at all.
If they worked at all.
Raining.
Oh, it was raining.
That's what I remember now.
Maybe they didn't work at all.
So maybe didn't work at all.
Oh wait, either way,
construction don't go.
The Lord was on our side, spitting on people. I love to say stuff like I'm not religious. I just think it's hilarious.
Yeah, you're weird.
Yeah, people up in the sky doing weird ass shit. But yeah, that was kind of the Winnipeg trip. Yeah, that was all right. Any other notes?
Well, I got the. I called. I don't work with you, but I do help you every now and then with some of your things for work because you don't like making phone calls.
Yeah.
So, the windshield in your work truck was jacked. It cracked and it was.
Well, yeah, I drive.
bad.
So depending on where I'm going, there's a few places that are still dirt road.
Dirt road. And like dirt roads.
My truck just gets peppered with fucking rocks.
Yeah.
And then the other day it was really fucking hot. So I had the AC on and it was hot outside. And then all those fucking chips just went and spidered across the whole fucking ordeal. So yeah, I was just like, hey, I'm doing some running around.
Call
Can
Speedy
you
Glass for me.
call this out for me? Yeah. Shout out Speedy Glass. Good for them.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Honestly, they did good work.
They did really well.
I learned a lot about that guy as he was picking me up and dropping me off.
Oh yeah.
He drinks beer in his front lawn.
That's right. You did learn about that guy.
It's it's funny.
It is really nice that they have a courtesy shuttle though that takes you home.
Dude, that was so cool. It was the same dude, the guy that worked the counter, then drove me home. And then, I don't know, he probably went and got lunch for everybody. I don't know. He probably did the work. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. He did the fucking...
But, because that's the North, man. Everybody,
right?
There's not enough... There's more than enough work for everybody, but there's not enough people that want to work.
Yes.
Shots fired. But...
so, yeah, I call him on the Friday, because this was a couple weeks ago. The Friday before the August long weekend.
Yeah.
So, the first weekend of August, the Monday is a holiday. In Canada. I don't know about the States. So he says, well, I can book you for the Tuesday after the holiday because we don't, no, not the Tuesday, the Wednesday.
Yeah.
After the holiday. Because the Tuesday after the holiday, we spend cleaning up. And I was just like, excuse me? Well, after a long weekend, we have to clean up from vandalism. There's always so much glass to clean up. And and I'm like, you have to leave the Tuesday after a long weekend open.
Always.
So you can clean up your shop, and because they've always vandalized it. Always. He's like, oh yeah, there's at least one vehicle that's been broken into, and our windows get smashed, and we get paint all over the fucking. And I'm like, oh my God. So I already said the name of it. I won't say it again, but the glass place in town has to leave a day open after a long weekend so they can clean up their shop and.
Yeah, that's a rule.
Their lot that they have.
Every long weekend.
They always have.
There's vandalism. That's insane.
And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry that is your life.
That is your reality.
That really sucks.
We never book anyone on the Tuesday after a long weekend. There's a lot of cleaning up we got to do.
And I'm like,
are you
cleaning up of what? Oh, glass mostly, but also usually some paint. We gotta either wash it off or paint over it. So that is a whole day of getting our shop back into working order.
Yeah, that's their life every time. That's terrible. Oh, somebody's awake.
Yeah. But yeah, and then speaking of driving and the dirt roads and everything, we also go up, because we go up to the reserves for your job. And the dogs there are quite interesting because they live on different rules.
Oh yeah, the res dogs
in town. They go wherever they want.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And they stand in the middle of the road and fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
This is my land. Yeah.
Exactly. And not only that, sometimes they chase you.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a dog chase and bite the back of your work truck.
Yeah, I don't know if back in the day y'all saw that video that went viral of the alligator that bit a police car. Yeah, I felt the same with a res dog biting my bumper.
There was no damage.
No damage. I took a look, but he definitely bit my truck.
Bit the fucking bumper of the truck.
And it is crazy because it's happened several times where I'll be driving and then a dog will look at me and be like, "You're not from around here, are you?"
And then start to fucking come at you. It's crazy.
Yeah, or there's been other times where I'm literally driving in the middle of the road and I've got a couple of them just kind of weaving in and out in front of me.
Yeah, you got to just.
What am I gonna do? I'll honk. They don't give a shit.
But if you honk, the people get mad at you.
Yeah, because they're like, "What are you honking at?" And I'm like, "This fucking dog in the middle of the road." Well, it's his road.
Yeah, it's not your road.
But yeah, so that was crazy having a dog by my truck, but. There's a lot of stuff. There was only one last note that I had. You? Were you good?
I'm good.
Okay. The only thing, and I'm glad we waited to talk about this. So we were going to talk about this a couple of weeks ago, but then we ended up just putting off the show for the trips and whatever. So there was a story that came out about a cop. I can't remember where. Somewhere in Canada. I can't remember where. Either way, he came out saying that he was quitting the police force because he was tired of getting compared to Farva from the State Troopers. Super Troopers movie.
Yeah.
And the dude looks fucking uncannily like Kevin Heffernan.
Yeah, but he also it's like he does it on purpose.
He has
the same fucking facial hair.
And this is why. Apparently the story originated from a joke parody Facebook group.
Okay.
And then news took it as real.
Oh, okay.
So the whole thing was that he was quitting the police force and joining the fire department because of this. And then when you look at him, he literally has the same facial hair, the same haircut. He looks like him. And so originally we were going to talk about it because we thought that was super weird. And then I just happened to look it up to kind of bring it back up. And it says, Broken Lizards, Kevin Heffernan responds to fake Winnipeg Farva drama.
Ah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He said he was Winnipeg. That's why we were going to talk about it. But either way, so just it's all fake and it's hilarious. And the dude looks just like him. And yeah, I don't know. I'm glad we didn't comment and like fall for it like the rest of the fucking news people. But yeah, either way, it reached Kevin. He made a comment about how funny it was and that he hopes he enjoys the fire department. But yeah, so that's kind of been the last couple of weeks
in our lives. For
sure. You can check out everything over at NFT FYB. Sorry, because she's running around, my brain is not where it needs to be. Mm-hmm. But yeah, all of our stuff will be over there. All the links to all of our social media. You can check out, make sure you subscribe, share with your friends. I'm sure someone might like us, whether you do or not. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun. We're going to continue on the journey. Potentially a new Horror in the Pit might come out this week. I'm not sure. We'll see how time prevails. But as far as I can tell, we are being more kind to ourselves, and we are going to get back to doing the things we love. We
suggest you do the same.
Absolutely. And so, yeah. So we're going to continue. I've started writing again, which is something I can't do when I'm depressed. And we're going to continue this process of working out, being kind to ourselves, writing, getting back to things that we love. You good?
Yeah.
Well, say goodbye to the people.
Bye, people.